What it is, what it do, baby. Hey, we in the building, man. Just want to let y'all know it's Fizzle Friday. It's been
Fizzle
a minute,
Friday.
man. Ain't been that long, but we just had a stream earlier. Now we back again one more time, baby. Trying to advance, trying to up the ante on these people, man. So 2 on 1 night, it only seemed right. Another Fizzle Friday, but tonight, man, I want to talk about what's popping, what's trending, man. 'Cause there's a lot going on this week. Most of the topics of the night happened at the same damn time. Like I was literally watching one game, breaking news while that happened, woke up, the other news happened. So
At
Trey
the same
Hendrickson, we
damn
already
time.
know. We know that situation. The Baltimore Ravens pulled the what's that card in Uno that
On the reverse card.
the reverse card up in Uno. You know, I ain't played Uno in a minute, baby, but they pulled that Uno reverse card on the Baltimore Ravens, man. Some people ain't feeling it. Some people think it's a part of the business, right? It is what it is. So we're gonna break that down, talk about a little bit of that. Maxx Crosby, how he's better off, maybe, and where he was originally. And then we're gonna talk about this historical night that some people seem to hate a whole lot, baby. So
It's a lot of
whole lot
haterade
of that
going
going
on,
on.
man. Whole lot of
It
haterade
is.
going
It is.
on.
And I think honestly though, well, we're gonna get to that after this quick intro. I just say I think most of it is because it's Bam and it's not people's favorite superstar.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it has a lot to do with it. But Bam, 83 points, beat Kobe out on the highest scoring record. Maxx Crosby beat out. No, I'm sorry. Got beat out by Trey Hendrickson on this
There we go.
contract deal with the Baltimore Ravens. So without further ado, baby, it is Fizzle Friday, the new and improved, hopefully, Fizzle Friday. ATM, man, cooked up this good old video. Crank it up. Let's get it popping. We're going to get back to the people, big dog.
Huh? Yes, sir.
Just like that.
Straight up,
We
man.
are back, baby. And that's a short version. I cooked that up probably while I told you when we hung up the phone earlier. I just needed something to put together. We got it together. So like I told you earlier, bro, I made this whole scenery, man. Today I just came up and said, look, I need something new, something fresh for today. I don't gotta work late, so let's get it popping, man. All right. So
I'm with you. Let's say what's up to the people too, man. We got Terminal Sarcasm back. Another one.
yes, sir.
We've got
Turn was good, big dog.
Patty Mills. Hopping right over. Where Jake at with the pregame? Hey, I'm with you. Where's Jake? What's up, man?
He pregame for the Cardinals, and he said he ain't want to hear about the Ravens, man. He wasn't feeling that. He cared about Kyler Murray.
We got Bindles in the building. We got Mr. Voorhees as always. And listen, the time on the clock may have been a little off for the big hand, the little hand, but we're back, man. We got Young Molly in the building. So Fizz, how you want to pop this off, man?
Well, I just want to bring it up, bro. Let's just keep it real, man. A lot of people got a lot of noise, a lot of hate, it's a lot of debate. Let's go ahead and talk about Trey Hendrickson and good old Maxx Crosby, man. Let's get this discussion out of the way, brother.
With you, man. Let's do it. There's Trey.
I just say this. My first thoughts. One, my whole story kind of goes together, but I just start with Trey. I saw the breaking news as I was watching the Bam game, but this happened during the game, and I was telling my girl, I said,
it's kind of crazy. It was the same time, yeah.
Bro, I told her, I said, man, I want to get out of this bed so bad. It's so much going on. I want to go live right now, right? So I said, nah, I'm going to just chill. No. I take it back, ATM. I'm going to take it back.
All
Trade news broke in the morning.
Walk me through
it. The Crosby reverse car happened during the game. I'm sorry. So the reverse trade happened during the game. The trade move happened in the morning. That's how it happened. So,
okay.
But even the Maxx Crosby situation, I wanted to get out of that, get out of the bed and say, man, it's going down. I had just made 2 shorts about Maxx Crosby getting traded and celebration, and all of a sudden they didn't pull the rug from up under me on my video. So let's start over. And I said,
new videos, all right.
Morning. I wait till the morning. Next thing I know, Trey getting signed. So I'm like, damn, maybe I should have waited. So, what was your first initial thoughts? Well, I'm gonna be real. You got to put Max up on the screen. You can't tell the story without the first piece, right? You can't play 4D chess without the final destination. You know.
This was this was crazy, honestly, to me. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I've ever. I can't recall seeing anything quite like this, frankly. And listen, this is definitely the Ravens now, not the old Browns, as I would say, because the Browns don't ever do things in this type of fashion where they, seemingly make a move that
They
is
do
on the
that to their own
surface
franchise. They
sneaky.
don't do that to other franchises.
Yeah, they do self-harm. Exactly right. So what I think of it is, man, I guess this is the other thing to think about. Now, there's a lot of teams, right, and there's a lot of different things to think, but to me, this feels like you probably may have burned the bridge for trading with the Raiders maybe all time. Like, this maybe just goes down in the we don't 100%. Even pick up the phone, man, or if we do, it's sabotage season.
When I saw no further comment, that let me know everything I need to know. When the Raiders put out this press statement and said, hey, the trade got reversed, whatever, no further comment, that means they were speaking to the crowd, the fans, and the Ravens organization. Right. No further comment. We don't need to talk to y'all ever again. You cross the street, stay across the street. We don't want no more posse, y'all.
To me, that had all the vibes of, man, we're tight, but there's nothing we can do about it, man. So we just gotta.
It's over with.
You know when people have that energy of being upset. I mean, that's cold-hearted business. I think that's the thing. It's a business at the end of the day, and they played them. But man, it's I don't know. I think a lot of times things like that tend to come back full circle too, and that's not something I'd like to play with either. So if you got a agreement in place. I don't know. I don't think the physical really was what took place and what made it. I think that's what they used as their excuse and reason to get out of it, because you can't tell me there's anything wrong with Maxx Crosby, bro. You just can't do it.
Bro, well, I'll tell you this. As we all know, that was a business decision. Make sure we get that up there. But I will just say this. It definitely was one of them moves that Baltimore, they thought about it. They actually realized, you know what? Damn, we didn't expect Trey to not be signed. I think they thought Trey was going to be signed 24 hours before that happened, right? And they just knew we made this big deal. We going for all of it, right? We going for the Super Bowl. Then they thought about this, though. The Ravens went and got this center. I mean, the Raiders got this center. The Ravens lost about 4 or 5 skilled players or important players to their offense, and they couldn't retain nobody that really of importance, especially losing the center. They realized, damn, we lost half our, important pieces in a sense.
Right.
Now these guys have our 2 first picks too. Like, hold up, man. Ain't Trey still available? Like, nah. I don't know what's going on here. We gotta see what we can do, because officially it ain't official. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't like we did nothing. We ain't crossed the guidelines on this one.
That's the other thing, though. I will say, I mean, it is what it is now, but I think the Ravens were strong enough contenders to make that trade work. But if you just look at the history, right, forget the names for a second and know that we can't see the future and how it's going to go, you send 2 firsts for a player, it just hasn't worked overall in the team's favor that's kind of leveraging those assets typically. So let me ask you this. Here's my biggest question I don't think talked about enough. What do you think the difference is between these 2 players as far as, like, the elite, and how much they'll actually mean to wins and losses for the NFL?
Well, I say this. Rock pulled up, because, he's a Ravens fan. He pulled out a stat about Maxx Crosby, how he was number 1. Don't quote me because I can't remember the exact stat, but he was number 1 in some stat over all of the pass rushers last year. And I will just say, Trey is like more of a silent assassin, right? He doesn't give you that out front, just, high energy. He doesn't put fear on your face when you look at him directly like Maxx does. Maxx just, gives that aura. You know what I'm saying? He walks out of the locker room with that aura. And I think Maxx being on the other side puts a little more fear in the offense. But me personally, if I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, I ain't feeling it, man. We wanted Maxx. We had Maxx.
That's actually the weirdest part to me, is that you let, because of what took place, the fan base really started to buy in, as they should, right?
But that's my point.
And that's also another thing you never want to really tinker with too much and play around with, is the emotions of your fans, man, especially when you don't have to. But this is a good question, actually. I was just going to get to this point. Do you think this is a kind of a spotlight play, or do you actually believe that there was some seriousness into they wanted to try to get both? It feels like it's almost impossible to actually structure it where you got both.
I see Merck brought that up, and that was a part of the conversation. ATM, they already had Maxx, so you could have got both. I don't want to hear they was trying. They had both. They could have got both. You had Maxx already.
But do you think, though, that part of the reason they ended up getting Trey Hendrickson is they knew they could get out of this deal?
Oh, that's 100% facts.
So then they never really had both, right? They never really truly had
that's what I'm
both.
saying.
Okay.
For them to say we was trying to get both, right?
Mm-hmm.
You already traded for Maxx. Now Trey is still available. Trey is still there. Now they're trying to rework Lamar Jackson's deal, get him more money. They could have just went to Lamar and said, look, instead of us giving you more money, let's get Trey. Like, they could have worked this up to say, Lamar, we're going all the way in. We gave away these first. We trying to get Trey. Can we pay you next year or something else like that? Like this, they could have went to their franchise quarterback and said, listen, we want to win. This is what we're going to do. I think they got cold feet when they realized Trey was still available and nobody paid him. That was really what it was. It was almost like, bro, it was almost like in Dynasty. They playing Dynasty, man. I brought this up to my man. They playing Dynasty. This is one of those, all right, look, man, let's make this trade because you got my guy. I'm going to make this trade with you. Now, you played that matchup last week and you lost and you out of the playoffs. All right, man, let me get my man back, man, because you ain't really need him for real. I really ain't want to trade him to you. Let me get him back. That was one of them moves where, you know, I ain't going to say it was collusion because these guys weren't working together, but it was definitely Baltimore in their own league, in their own dynasty league, colluding with themselves. Like, look, man.
Yeah.
Now that pick 14. Now I say this: if it was pick 28, maybe 30, you think they would have did it then, or did they look at it being pick 14 and saying that's rich, that's rich right there?
I mean, it definitely could have played into it. I'm just kind of wondering too. You know how like I kind of think about it like this from a funny standpoint. People put a trade through, and then all of a sudden it's like there's a lot of people that have that. They need to know and feel that confirmation and affirmation from the league chat. And if it doesn't go their way in league chat, it's like, oh man,
yeah, that's true too. That's true. Damn, that's a good one.
I think there was like a little bit good enough negative like noise around there that it must have had them thinking they weren't really sure about it, which to me is crazy. Like if you had any type of I'm not sure about this trade when you put it through, that seems insane. But I feel like there probably was some sort of buyer's remorse to a degree here, which is where they basically got super lucky, and maybe it wasn't even super lucky. Maybe they planned this out, but it worked out to where they didn't have to send any, and they just spent the money.
But I'm gonna be honest though, bro. This felt like a Baltimore move. You went and got Maxx Crosby. You bet it all. You gave away This felt like Baltimore when they traded back up to get Lamar Jackson.
Wait, what about for Maxx Crosby for a second though? You imagine?
Man, damn. You know what?
That was crazy to me. That one is the point that's like, dog, you're basically ready to go change your whole life. You've had enough time for everything to be moving, and then hold up, man. Listen, bro, I hope you didn't sign nothing because don't sign that lease. Don't do anything. Like we're good.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And I said this before or right after he got traded on the morning show. Max felt like he had buyer's remorse after the trade. Like he went out, man. I'm a retire Raider at one point in my career. I love the Raiders. And like he.
I think that's a little bit normal in the first couple days, though. That like for sure. Reminiscing and all that.
I'm just saying he definitely didn't like give me that. Yes, I'm going to Baltimore and I'm out of here type of feel. He gave me that, man. I'm going to Baltimore, but I don't mind being a Raider for life. And I'm gonna be honest. Once this happened, I kept hearing the noise about maybe the Cowboys looking, maybe the Patriots.
I knew you was gonna bring it up. Yep.
No, but I'm gonna be honest though. And my initial one was yes, the Cowboys can maybe instead of giving up that first and second, maybe they say, hey man, we just giving up a first, whatever. But then when it really hit me and I thought about what Max was saying, bro, if I'm the Raiders and I'm Max, let's just wipe off whatever dirt we had. I'm staying. What can I do to stay?
But how do you do that when it seems like the Raiders – see, this is the biggest thing. The Raiders seem like they started making moves accordingly with the bunny off the books. And now it's like, hold on. Our whole life just got –
I read something that they spent almost $280 million in free agency and they still can afford to keep Max. I'm gonna be real. That's what I mean. If I'm Max and
they might
I'm
be able to technically by the books, right? They might be able to
default,
make the numbers work, but you can't.
You
don't have. You don't. The reason they can't do it is because their team's not ready to win with that type of a luxury pay. So it's like, hold on, man. It's like we had a blueprint, and you told us halfway through, well, listen, we can't demo the house. We have to. You're gonna have to have half and half. So they feel very stuck.
If he's healthy and he goes through a couple of games, do you think it's like a mid-season trade now? Just to get them off the books, like because most likely they probably won't be winning a lot of games, right? Let's just be real.
Well, that's
talking like week 7, week 8, they 2-6. You know what I'm saying? Do they say, all right, Max, let's try this again?
Well, I will. Let me tell you this. The one thing the Browns have done is, the unthinkable with Garrett, right? Myles Garrett had an unbelievable season that was kind of just to be understated for every reason. They weren't relevant, and he was still just setting numbers. To me, it's like maybe they go that route. I think that wouldn't be the best play if you really want to rebuild. Maybe it's something though that they want to keep their fan base, and they don't want to be completely without like the star power to put ass in the seats. So for the finances, but to me, you've already kind of committed to. That's the other weird part is that he's so willing to come back and almost like you didn't even trade me. I'm good. Like.
Ain't no bad blood.
I think the Raiders are much better off moving on from him, and they have way too much cleanup. They have a total roster to overhaul to keep Maxx Crosby as a luxury. I just don't think that you can do it. So I think this is the problem. It feels like their leverage got taken out from them. It was almost like Baltimore paid the price that no one was willing to pay, and now they aren't willing to pay it. So everyone basically said this is what it's not going to cost. That's all we know.
They did them dirty, bro. They did the Raiders super dirty. And I'm gonna be honest, as a Cowboy fan, I really was sitting here saying, "Oh yes, that first and second is no longer available now. You might not get that second, and that might be pick 20 and not pick 12. Like that price has dropped, even though
what's not true, Patty. Sorry.
Even though we knew ahead of time the knee was an issue. But we all know the timeline on it. Trey Hendrickson had a hip surgery in January. So it ain't like he the healthiest either, and he older. So I think this was BS that the Ravens pulled. I'm just saying, man, me as not a Ravens fan, but kind of a cheerer of the Ravens during the season, and Lamar Jackson and being my guys, I don't blame Lamar Jackson for this, but the organization of the Raiders got a black eye right. I mean, the Ravens got a black eye right now, man. And I don't know if fans, just that hate that the Kansas City Chiefs usually get during the season, I think some of those fans are going to look at the Ravens and say, F them, man.
Well, I mean, you got to remind to me, it's they're not related, but they're kind of in an organization or anything. They're connected where, you got some controversial stuff right now with the Harbaugh situation, right? And now you got, if things don't go right this year, I feel like there's going to be a lot of people wondering and scratching heads and kind of pointing fingers in Baltimore, man. I really do. I'm not saying it's going to go wrong, but I think if it's set up now where it better go right.
Well, I say this: if Harbaugh was there, I don't think this would have happened. Max would have been there. I don't think
that ultimately is the point, though. I think that's probably even what you just said. I think is also true. I agree, but that might even make the point more of an exclamation point where they're operating already like clearly like Harbaugh wouldn't, and that's interesting too.
Yeah, nah, you're right, and I'm looking at the chat. Merck said he heard he broke his sobriety. Nah, bro, that was just
that's what he was saying about not true.
That was a fake rumor, bro. He put out the matter of fact, this happened on the day.
Y'all got to be careful where you're catching your sources from, man. You get scammed on all this stuff a lot, man.
But the crazy part is, bro, that trade rescinded on the anniversary day of his sobriety. So it was like he put out a tweet. He put out a tweet like, "Hey, I'm 6 years sober. I ain't tripping off nothing." You know what I'm saying? So he in a good state of mind, man. He good.
Do you think? Let me ask you this last thing. Do you think that from a chemistry standpoint, something like that will mess with the locker room, where it's like, wait a minute, we thought we had this guy. Everyone in the team was probably informed, obviously, as everyone else. Now all of a sudden we're backing out, and like, do you think that causes a little bit of player mistrust in organization?
I think they win the games, and everybody don't care.
I'm just saying from the standpoint of you got to continue negotiating with players, and will they come through and the agents be like, "Hey, listen, man, they're always trying to pull the fast one if they can."
So I think the biggest word you said was agent. I don't think the player will, but the agent might say, "Hey, hold up now. I know you like Baltimore,
but that's going to basically cause a rift, a little bit of a unnecessary rift going into any negotiation moving forward." Yeah,
for sure. I felt that way about Micah Parsons. I would say this right now. Micah Parsons did not want to leave Dallas. He loved Dallas. His agent told him, "Listen, you hired me to get you the biggest contract. Jerry want to finesse that contract, so we not signing it." Perfect example. I believe
that's actually a very good parallel. That's a great parallel, especially because it's like Jerry kind of said, "Hey, this is what the price ain't going to be," right? That's kind of what it feels like now the Raiders have to deal with, too. On the other side, it's like, well, we're probably not. Here's the question I have. If you wait to midseason, does someone now all of a sudden bring 2 firsts to the table that didn't prior?
I think
the only way I could see that being the case is if a team like is having a historic season and all of a sudden they're saying, "Hey, this is going to be a late first, and we're kind of just pushing our chips in now as maybe we weren't ready to priorly.
Well, I say this: don't never doubt the Rams. The Rams seem to be wanted by everybody. I heard they were trying to get AJ Brown this week. So
listen, the Rams will try. The Rams, they will try.
Them picks. They back on that.
That's fair. I think I just think though the Raiders are probably kind of in a tough situation that it's like, hey, I want yesterday's price, but you're not going to get it. So I think for them, the issue with potentially playing throughout the year, right? If there's an injury now to Maxx Crosby, now you're really, really screwed.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, man, they did them dirty, man. This is one of them situations where, like I said, in Dynasty, you make those trades, and then somebody wake up the next day and say, "Oh man, I didn't know that."
Man, I didn't put that. Hurt. I thought the third was on the other side. I don't want. You got to reverse the trade.
Or a waiver claimer. You know those waiver claimers.
Man.
I didn't mean to be. I didn't mean to bid 500. I was only bidding 5. Huh?
Because they saw the next highest bid was 4. Yeah.
Exactly. So this is one of those Baltimore Ravens moves where they said, "Hold up, man. The bid was only we pressed the wrong button. My bad."
The Raiders. It's a tough look. I will say though, if Trey doesn't, live up to the hype or the expectations, and Max is balling. And like I said, Baltimore's not starting on the highest of notes. It'd be like, man, you could see things being in a weird state there. I think, though, the Baltimore Ravens overall, from a positional standpoint, where they're at, they are better off with this team in this situation for sure, having their picks.
I mean, when you look at what they lost, especially the offensive line, the center. When you look at what they lost, they're going to need that first rounder. Like, they're going to need that pick 14 to address a lot of different things.
And it also is one of those scenarios where maybe now they have a totally different plan going into the draft. What if they end up trading it for somebody 100%. Else? Like, it's
they can make a trade. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, like I said, this business decision. That's why I told you to put it there. This was a business decision, bro. This actually was the smarter move. They just shouldn't have did it, man. Morally,
it's funny you said 14 because it reminded me, and that's exactly correct. I had to just double check Kyle Hamilton's pick. So I mean, now I don't think the class is as good as that one.
Well, you know how they got Kyle Hamilton, right?
What's that?
You know how they got Kyle Hamilton, right?
What you mean?
Because the dumb Washington Commanders traded their pick. They should have got him.
That goes. I
was praying they didn't get him, and they let Baltimore move and get him. But the Washington Commanders had that pick. That was the Chris Olave trade to the Saints, I believe. I think the Saints traded up for Chris Olave, and the Detroit Lions got J-Mo. I want to say it was the same draft.
So this is one of those ripple effects. Like, it's still feeling it for you all these years later, huh? That Kyle Hamilton.
I'm still thinking about it, bro. That Kyle Hamilton. Well, I'm glad though. I'm glad because I was praying. I'm here in DC, so I'm thinking, man, the Commanders about to get Kyle Hamilton, and Ron Rivera got it right out of there and said, "Oh no, we don't want him." And Baltimore went ahead and took him. So that was. I still remember that draft because I really wanted him to not be in Washington, and they helped me out on that one.
Let me. So the only backing out of trades that have been technically handshake deal this far along is something I really don't remember. One of the craziest things, I'm just thinking all sports Fizz, like anything like this that you can remember. It's not quite the same, but it kind of brings me back to the Chris Paul got Knicks trade to the Lakers, which was crazy. Then they traded him to the Clippers.
The league did that one though.
But that's the thing, right? That was a totally separate scenario. Someone didn't back out of the trade that was already kind of signed upon. We're just waiting for the day for it to actually go through.
Well, we had coaches, Josh McDaniels pulled the rabbit out of the hat when he signed as what was that, the Colts? Was it the coach?
Yeah, but we've seen that type of thing for sure. It's almost like a different game that is though than the
exactly.
Trades,
don't nobody like coaches anyway, so it's like
they don't ever get the love or the same. Exactly, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, but to kind of I guess bring it all home though for Trey and Max.
Yep.
Who you think has the bigger impact with? Because I know you said Max is probably going to have to get sent out of Vegas because of where they're going to be at middle of the season. Trey probably got the better side of that. But do you really think if Baltimore, let's just say, don't make the AFC Championship, but the Raiders win 7 or 8 games, because we ain't even probably projecting them to win 7 or 8 with this roster.
That would almost make it worse for the Raiders if they kept him. They win 7 games. It like puts them in purgatory.
It'd be for no point. Yeah. No, you're right.
The only thing here's my biggest takeaway. I think if there's a negative here that's not. I think Maxx Crosby's very I don't know, there's something about his aura, and I think ultimately the way he carries himself that's just different than Trey too. And I just don't know if
Exactly.
I do think sometimes that stuff does translate to more than people think in the locker room, in the way that people think and
100%.
move. I don't know that I can put a price to it and say, hey, it's worth 14 and whatever the pick was, but to me, Trey Hendrickson is he's a damn good player. I'm not trying to say that. I just don't think he's in the same ilk of Maxx Crosby in a multitude of ways, frankly.
Bro,
He's also
Maxx
older
Crosby,
by a decent amount too.
Maxx Crosby would have rocked Baltimore, bro. Like I said, his aura alone, the fans would have been.
He would have all this stuff with the Raiders he was going through. He would have ended up loving Baltimore. I almost guarantee it.
100%. I seen a fan. You know how they burn jerseys? I seen a fan act like he was going to burn a jersey and then put some roses on the jersey and said, "Max,
where do they burn jerseys at?" I'm unfamiliar with that. No,
in Cleveland,
the LeBron thing was crazy.
In all sports, they burn over there. But yeah, like I said, man, long story short, I think Baltimore did them dirty. The Vegas Raiders, to have those 2 first-round picks, bro, would have been epic for what they're trying to build. They addressed the offensive line. They went and got other pieces. I believe they're going to go get another veteran. Debo Samuels is out there. A couple of, one of those 2 receivers, and they're going to get their quarterback. Having that pick would have put them 2 or 3 years ahead of their plan, and it just all got wiped away, man. So.
Well, the idea of having both, or if they were trying to, this is what they got left. The business decision has left Maxx Crosby and no longer in Baltimore and in Vegas. Anything on this before we hop into segment 2, man?
Yeah, nah, man. I think that's it. I'm see if anybody got something in the chat, man. I'm sitting here looking.
Yeah, go ahead. If you got comments you want me to pull up, just let me know.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, most everybody just pretty much on the same wave, man. Like my boy Guy said, man, it's the aura, baby. He got the juice, man.
And I think Baltimore already has some of that, but I think I really believe if he was there, they would have had so much consistent exposure and like talk about the Ravens. They would have been almost on a weekly basis. Everyone's looking at that situation, almost like changing the America's team, if you will, the Cowboys, to at least for a moment, like the Ravens. I think there's a lot of people that don't. Lamar's success in the postseason is a totally separate conversation, but I think there's people that don't want to see him succeed, and there's people that really do. And I think a lot of people in the national media would have been pushing towards, wanting to see this be the thing that got them over the hump and put them into the, Super Bowl and maybe even winning it. But obviously that's no longer the case.
Well, I'm going to give you one comparison and I'm going to end it, bro.
All right.
Imagine, and I'm not saying skill level the same as Trey Hendrickson to his position, but imagine the 49ers trading George Kittle for Hunter Henry. I think that's the same aura swap. If we're talking Trey Hendrickson and Hunter Henry,
that's fair.
Same guy. George Kittle and Maxx Crosby, same guy. You cannot trade George Kittle for Hunter Henry and expect the fans to say, great job. That's how I feel. That's what I think happened. Baltimore Ravens let George Kittle leave that building before he even really got there.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. That's a good – it's interesting because I think the tight end position is like probably not the most universal to talk about, but that's a great comparison where Kittle does have his own swag and aura, and he's a beast.
Aura,
not that Hunter Henry can't play and he's not a good player, but there's just a different – there's a very, very much a different aura, as well as I think the way – like Kittle's similar to Crosby. He's an animal while being that crazy aura too. So there's just a different – I think there's just a different vibe and feel completely with Max. So to me, the other thing is I'll say this for Maxx Crosby, I would hate to see him have a situation like Myles Garrett where, listen, Myles, you were here for years. Like, I don't want to see your career in the prime get wasted in Cleveland. I'd hate to see that for him as well in Vegas. So we'll see. But listen, man, what else we got on deck, my friend?
Well, I say this, we do got room for you, Max, big dog. Mid-season, we're going to holler at you, man. Just let you know. Also, I want to remind everybody this is Friday the 13th, so hopefully, this is just one of those spooky tales that he ended up coming back and popping out of nowhere, man, back from the dead in Vegas. Man, hopefully, we figure that out. But ATM, I'm glad that you did hit me up and say, bro, I'll pop out with you because you are, I don't know, you don't talk about yourself much, brother, but you are an ex. When I say ex, I mean, you kind of stuck in the house. You ain't out on the court balling like
it's all right, man. You see the great. Listen, Father Time is undefeated. As someone in the chat knows, big hand, little hand. I'm getting old, man. It's I can't. I don't move
it ain't
like
the
I
same.
used to. I don't move like I used to.
But I will say this: I won't call you a baller. You're a hooper, because most people that
My
ball,
man.
they are hoopers. You feel me? You got to use their terms right.
Real
baby.
hoopers know, man.
Real hoopers know. I used to be. We had a gym here called Run and Shoot, and I remember Gilbert Arenas said he went in there. I remember Gilbert Arenas said he went in there a couple times and played. Kevin Durant used to go there all the time. Berry Farms. I don't know if anybody in the chat know about the legendary Berry Farms. It's one of the projects over in Southeast DC that had one of the most prominent basketball courts ever in this area. It's almost like our what's the court in New York, Adam?
You talking about the gym that's up?
The one outside, Rutgers.
Oh, Rutgers Park. Okay, Rutgers Park. Yeah.
Berry Farms is like our Rutgers, like Gilbert. If you ever look up Gilbert Arenas, Berry Farms,
they still get kind of thick out there, swole as far as people watching, and the games are crazy.
Whoa, I say this, bro. Everything's gentrified. It's condos over there now, so they tore the hood down. But
okay,
I will just say, if you look up Gilbert Arenas and Berry Farms, he got stories about he used to go out there in the off season and get that bump with those guys out in the street. Right. So I'm saying that to say, though, you being an ex-hooper, man, really out here doing your thing, man, out in college, this is a conversation for you, because I'm sure you wanted to be on the all-time something list. Maybe you are. You ain't tell us yet. I don't know. But
I don't know about I got some all-time lists. No list that you guys are going to necessarily care to know about or that you would know. So it is what it is. It's listen, well, go ahead. You lead us into it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, long story short, though, we are talking about an all-time list. The reason why I wanted to bring this up tonight, though, man, is because it's been a lot of hate, a lot of shade, and maybe it's because who he passed, or maybe it's because of how it happened. But long story short, tonight was really about the fallout in Ravens and Vegas and the ball out in Miami, man. So Bam Adebayo hitting that number 2 spot. We got Wilt, number 1 all-time, and Kobe at 81. ACM, man, let us know something. Drop it down. And how you feeling about this conversation, this situation? Number 1, did you watch it live? Number 2, how was your reaction when you seen it? And number 3, what is your thoughts on it, bro? Because I just say this. Like I told you, I was in the bed, and I got the alert. Bam had 63 in the third. I said, damn. No, in the second.
I was going to say,
in the second.
He was – so – that was when I watched a portion of the second half, because I caught a notification. And I'm like, wait a minute. At first, when I read it, I'm like, he had a crazy game. I thought it was like the game was over, and they're saying he was in like the 60s or whatever the notification was. And I'm like, hold on, he's still playing. So, what was my initial reaction when watching it?
Yeah.
I was already.
Did you watch it? Did you watch it live?
I watched the end of the game. So definitely, I picked up somewhere in the third quarter. I forget exactly what time, but I watched in quarter 3.
I told my girl, I said, man, look, whatever we watching, Bam got 63 in the second quarter. We might have to watch this, because something about to happen tonight. Like, I literally told her, turn that off.
But I did go back and obviously watch, and they kept. I mean, they were, obviously at that point, the game wasn't close as well. So that may be some of the reason why some people don't, love it or whatever, because they were kind of, rubbing the score in at the end there. But if you go back and watch the beginning, this dude was killing early, and it just was feast and no famine. He didn't stop. One thing that's interesting, I don't know if you saw this, but Beasley he's getting a little bit of love about talking about how his game, prior was really.
Yeah,
Beasley.
He's Mr. 101. You can't stop Mike Beasley.
Well, Mike Beasley, that's let me show you my age. That's the high school class I was in with Mike Beasley. I played against him. It wasn't pretty. The dude was an absolute animal. Him and D Rose were top of the class. But what he said, though, it's crazy because, see, sometimes you hear people like what they said prior, it comes to fruition. It's like, all right, but there wasn't a lot of substance there. The way he called it and what he was talking about all were things that ended up coming to fruition. Now, you need, obviously, a set of circumstances for that to be the case. But Bam, he was basically saying Bam has all these traits and tools, but he doesn't have, and I'll kind of paraphrase my own way here, he doesn't have the green light. And the green light is one of these things that if you really are a hooper and know, if you were in high school, you played at some point where the coach is going to kind of, and the way the system is, it's going to make you play tighter. There's like a... You may see the people that play in AAU or where it's not as tightly coached. It's like all of a sudden, or they're out at the park. They're trying all these crazy stuff. stuff you'll never see them ever try or even think about trying in a game in like a high school setting. So I think that there's especially in the NBA because it's a business where, listen, Bam was playing really well on a good team. But you had Jimmy Butler. You had first of all, Butler's getting his shots. He's not going to let you just chuck the ball all the time. But what Beasley was saying overall was that if you give him more volume and you let him be kind of the focal point of the offense, he has the ability to, if you give him 25, 30 shots, to be really efficient and also let the entire team get better. What he was doing was basically you see someone at crazy high confidence. The dude, this was what's underrated about it. That dude shot 22 threes. Now, he only made 7. But do you understand someone shooting 22 threes in the NBA, what they have to think and what the team has to think about him launching that thing like that?
Well, I'm going to be honest, bro. About 10 of those was him just chucking it up trying to get the record.
For sure.
Watched that last like 8 minutes, he was just shooting anything because they was quadruple team and it was 4 players checking them. So he was just like, all right,
they didn't want to see that. They didn't want to see that 80 someone passed Kobe on them, and it happened.
Granted, you didn't gave up 80 points or 90, 70 points. Now you want to check them and double team or triple team them. You should have played defense all damn night, man. This is what the Wizards do, first of all. So we all know.
I was going to say the Wizards are almost the quintessential team to look at. Like, yeah, of course it's going to happen on them. But if you look in like the early part of the game, though, when he was this is when you know someone's really going heat check. He's just coming down the court. No one else is touching the ball. First of all, he's bringing the ball up. This underrated part. 6'9" dudes bringing the ball up because they're just like, let Bam go crazy. Is his handle, his ability, but he's just, listen, I'm pulling up, you're playing too far off. He was hitting everything early, and it's one of those moments where I think in basketball you call it like you're kind of just shooting into the ocean. Like, it just feels like you're going to hit, and if you're that hot, you just keep shooting.
Well, I say this. When I first saw that, again, he had 60 – I got the alert. It said – there we go. It got the alert and said LeBron James record broken by Bam, and it's the second quarter. So I'm like, oh, damn. Turn the game on instantly, right? And I'm like, oh, damn. I said, man, they playing the Wizards. This man about to have 150 points tonight. And, of course, Trey, AD, this got traded. Adam, I live here. All this hype. Hey, we got AD. We got Trey Young. They're not even playing, first of all. Second of all, the man just went out there and did what he was supposed to do for 2 quarters. Third quarter, he got what he needed. And that fourth quarter, it was basically the team just saying, listen, by any means necessary, feed the guy, man. And the funny part, I don't know if you saw that last point that he scored. The Wizards, after quadruple, triple teaming them, when they threw the inbound in, they even threw the inbound to Bam. Bam had 4 players on him. They still threw it to him, right? The Wizards hit the ball away and stole it, laid it up. But all they did was say, good, that's what we wanted you to do anyway. And they let Bam wide open get down there, and they fouled him, and he got the ball. But I'm going to be honest, and I'm reading a lot of people in the chat, Young Molly especially, with the 43 free throws. Adam, do you know how hard it is to even score free throws, let alone hit 40 of them? Or I think it was like 40 for 43 or something like that.
He was he was 36 of 43. So for the record, that's 84%, something 85, something like that. Listen, now
KD, Curry, we expect them. James Harden, we expect them to knock those numbers down. Nobody saw Bam and said, "Oh, he gonna make 36 out of 43." Nobody saw that.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing that's underrated about it, I think, as far as that goes. Now, I understand. Listen, the amount of times I can think about players getting to the line 20 times, and that was where you get a lot of James Harden similar hate, where he was just kind of getting to the line with a lot 100%. Of feeling. People felt like they were just flopping a lot. But 20 times the line is crazy, frankly. And 43 attempts is, I don't know. I'd have to imagine it's got to be towards the top. Like, the only person I think that ever has a chance to get that.
It was so he has a record. Him and Dwight Howard. He beat Dwight Howard. Well, Dwight Howard had 39, I want to say. So
it's funny because I was going to say the only 2 people I think that could have it was going to be Shaq and like Howard back in his heyday, where they would try to get these guys on the line. So
yeah.
But they weren't trying to keep him on the line. He was just continually the thing that is underrated, though, is the stamina. Like, to continue doing that and to hit those free throws when you're tired, to be locked in like that is crazy. I know it's a midweek or whatever, game in the NBA, which may not be the right environment. But, man, To me, it's wild to think about someone getting the line 43 times in a game. Honestly, to me, the number of 20 times to the line means that dude was active, had a crazy game, and people were fouling the shit out of him. 43 is outrageous, bro.
But especially when Adam, let's be real, I watched it. They were only letting him shoot. Nobody else was shooting. He getting the ball. Nobody else is even trying to shoot. At one point, the Wizards was fouling other players so Bam wouldn't get the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
he was trying to keep the ball out of his hands. Then he got the ball. Again, you can say what you want to say if you the Wizards. Say, oh, man, I can't believe, they did it. Y'all gave up 83 points, let a man shoot 43 times, and you were quadruple, triple teaming this man. Man, the Wizards got to be a disgrace to the league, man.
But I was going to say, though, so here's the thing, right? The NBA has there's a lot of reasons for me the NBA like it's not the same product as the NFL for significant reasons. But listen, you get to this part of the season, right? They played a couple of games since then. You're 16-49. Like I can tell you this, my last 2 years I played at a school called Leeds McRae, and it was my first time playing in a team that was on a losing ways and experiencing bad culture. And listen, you get to a point in which everybody's mailing it in. And listen, I think in general, people mail it in on defense as it is right now, just playing basketball, period, a lot of times. So Washington basically didn't want to be there, was trying to get their season over with. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, man, we got this dude trying to go crazy, put a record up on us. And then they started not wanting to deal with it, but had to. Yeah. And but, I mean, there's no semblance of Washington really caring. It's a midweek, regular season NBA game they don't care about, honestly.
For sure. But and to go back earlier to what you said about Jimmy Butler being on the team, and a lot of people, because what I really want to talk about is the hate that he's getting for this, right? A lot of people hate it. They mad that it happened.
I guess I want to talk a little bit about that too. What would make that be such a strong feeling? Like, to me, maybe there's a few things tied in, but there has to be an underlying reason or some of them that kind of make sense. Right now, I don't have one that makes sense, in my opinion.
It's two that make sense, bro. Number one is that it's Kobe's record. If it was Bill Russell's record, nobody would care because he's an older guy. He played in a different era.
Do you think though that's being here? Do you think though is it a combination of that plus the fact that, like you mentioned, his last basket and then he scored him on the line and then they sub him out? So it's like, do you think it was partly that it felt like they were just chasing this record and there was no other stakes there? Like if he's not scoring 83, they probably pulled him 6-8 minutes ago. Is there something like that?
Well, once Coach Spo already said he don't give a damn what nobody think. He glad he did it. That's
he was grinning ear to ear the whole time. The last few minutes.
Bro, I watched it, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, number one is that it's Kobe, bro. If this was Bill Russell's record, I'm telling you, nobody would care. But number two is that it's Bam. If this was Jimmy Butler, we'd be praising. If this was Steph Curry, LeBron James, if it was these superstar athletes that everybody follow, 10 million followers and this and that, we would have loved it. But since it's Bam and he's not supposed to do this, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing. He's not supposed to do this. That's why people don't.
Who are the determining people of who he's not supposed to do this? I guess is the other crazy part.
The people with phones in their hands that just say what they want to say. That's what it come down to, bro. Yeah. 83 points is 83 points. I don't care how you put it. The man scored 83. And again, if this was a superstar that everybody loved, James Harden go to the line more than anybody in the league. Shea Alexander, they talk about him getting fouled as soon as he stepped on the court.
Right.
If these guys would have got that, you wouldn't have heard no words about it. Bam, being who he is, not being that upper echelon superstar in the league, people hate on it. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't see a lot of reason to hate on it. I think I think this is the thing though. It's
facts.
There's a shock factor about it. Like, basically, you'll see a lot of you've seen some crazy names score 50 plus. I remember specifically Terrence Ross going back years ago come to mind for me. Like, nice player,
Orlando.
He had some nice years, honestly, some good seasons. But him being on the list of scoring 50 is probably not. People didn't believe it. But the thing is, it's on a scale, right? It's a crazy game, and people can kind of root for it. But I think there is something like, well, Bam's not even that good. I just think the conversation there all of a sudden starts taking a place where it doesn't deserve it. Someone scored 83 in a game. Someone put this up on the chat here. See, Wilt's 100-point game, like, there's a ton of validation questions around it, right? Because of the fact that there's only a tiny bit of footage. They supposedly like stopped the game once he hit 100. Who was counting him? If you go back further and further in stats, even like far more recently than Wilt, you'll see errors and a lot of different things that the stat sheets were saying versus what you would watch and count it yourself now. So someone scored 83. I mean, scoring 83 in an NBA game, even if it's versus the Wizards, and even if you're hitting a lot of shots, and even if you're at the line 43 times, it's just something that won't be repeated very often, if for a long ass time. So I don't know. I just don't have any hate for it, and I think at least for me, it's kind of a thinking about a basketball standpoint. Like if you give a guy a green light and his confidence is really high and he's working on his game, like I guarantee you 6-7 years ago, no one would say Bam's even ever going to be able to shoot threes, let alone have the green light to just do whatever he wants to at any point. So I will say though that it'll be interesting to see. Like you see the score of the game was like 150 and no one else is shooting but Bam. Bro, like the game.
You know what's so crazy? I saw they made a meme. I don't know if this is real or not. They say the highest scoring duo of all time. It was Bam's 83 and one of his teammates had like 30 points. So they was like, this is the highest scoring duo of all time. Well, yeah, because that gets you
over 100. Well, I mean, I guess though I could give you the Kyrie and LeBron is far more impressive where they both in the 50s, but or both in the 40s maybe. But
I'm trying to, bro. I don't know.
What's crazy? Think about that. Even if LeBron and Kyrie multiple times they were both over 40, that matches what Bam's at with 83. What are you trying to find?
I'm trying to see if I could peep this.
We lost Fizzle's. Fizzle is 100% locked in on whatever he's looking for right now.
Yeah, no, my bad. Because I saw a post yesterday, and I should have saved it. They's like, man, after what Bam did, did y'all see what other people did? It was like 4 random. What's the guy name? the dunk contest guy.
Matt McClung, yeah.
Bro, he dropped 51 points the same night Bam dropped 83.
In a different game.
Yes, but no, what I'm saying is that night. It was like 4 random players that have never scored 30 points in their life scored 40, 45, 50. And everybody was like, bro, people talking about Bam.
Yeah, the thing about Matt McClung, too, is he's not even normally.
51 that night.
Yeah, he's normally not even playing in the is he called up right now, or is that a G League deal?
Bro, he usually on 10-day contracts most times.
I was about to say, he's normally playing in like the D League or whatever, G League, whatever you call it now. So he did that in the NBA game?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. You 50 in a game where, like, literally, if you look at his career, he's basically always playing in the G League for the most part. So that's pretty crazy.
Well, again,
I didn't. Another thing, it completely overshadowed. I didn't even know that. Literally finding out about this right now.
I'll just say this: this is the NBA. And
okay. Topic. He was playing, representing the Bulls G League affiliate. So he was playing for the G League team. Okay.
Oh, okay. But it's
all right. I was gonna say if I didn't hear about that would have been crazy. Bro, you had me tripping for a second. I'm over here like, no way, bro. No.
When I saw the post, I'm like, huh? But okay, G League. But still, to drop that in the G League is crazy on the same night.
It still is. It still is. But if you told me Mac McClung scored 50 in an NBA regular season game, I was about to be like, all right, what is fucking going on?
Yeah, the NBA going crazy. Stop. And again, bro, this is the NBA. I'm sure people don't care. We usually don't.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. You had me tripping for a second. Holy crap!
I ain't gonna lie. Just like who was that earlier? Merk had brought up what he saw. These damn clickbait posts, man. They get you, man.
Well, especially because now, like with that, he's wearing a G League jersey that I think, for example, they're say Bulls, like the Windy City team he plays for. So yeah, it could look like you could really spin it that way.
Yeah, but regardless, though, 51 even in G League is tough. But
for sure.
I'm just saying, man, the NBA ain't the hottest topic. It ain't nothing nobody want to hear about.
That's probably part of the problem is the game meant nothing. He did a ton of it at the line. It's a name people don't really care about. There's a lot of like, yeah. I think you're kind of reaching still to have any type of hate on it, but I just think it's like kind of inconsequential in the big scheme of things is why people are trying to put that hate out there.
Why did I say this? In respects to Kobe, yes, they were losing to the Raptors. Yes, Kobe did it on a comeback.
It's a totally separate, right? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I get the hate. Why, man, this dude, he passed Kobe, and Kobe was down like 35
Spo's letting
points.
him shoot. How many free throws with the last 4 minutes when the Wizards don't care, right?
I get it. But the man scored 83. I don't give a damn how he got it.
Sure,
he got it.
you got to put respect on it. I think at the end of the day, that's all I'd say. If you don't respect it or you poo-pooing it too much, man, give me your resume. Forget basketball. Give me your resume. Who are you to tell this that it's invalid or whatever?
And they won, bro. I mean, look, Devin Booker dropped like 71 and they lost. So I mean, what I'm saying? Like,
that I think is what's crazy. Like, that's why I think if you do have any hater, like there's a little bit of asterisk to it. It's that, bro. Again, if he is not in this realm of scoring, that he was probably pulled for almost the whole fourth quarter. So that's like most of the time you have to get to that point. You got to be trailing so you can go green light and chuck. So that's nuts.
Exactly, because Kobe might not even hit 81 if they were winning that game. So he won because they were losing. That's how he got to that point.
The only time I can remember, honestly, it was crazy where I watched somebody chuck. As I'm thinking through that game again, I watched the second half of it. I did go back and just watch the highlights, but it's not the same as the whole flow of the game. But I just kind of what I was feeling. The only time I've seen anyone chuck like that and the whole team being like, "Yo, go and you chuck is your world every time down," was when Kobe's last game, when everyone wanted to see him get to 50 when he was on his like well past his prime. That time was insane. Basically, every time down, it's like give Kobe the ball, ISO, just chuck. That's what it felt like with Bam too. It's just basically give him the ball and go.
Well, I will just say this: you got guys who don't even wait on the team and they just take the ball and shoot it, like McGrady did on that 12. Was it McGrady? That 12 points when they was down and by like 12 points with like
Spurs,
1 minute left
to the Spurs. You talking about? Yeah, that was insane.
He didn't even wait for them passing the ball. He just took the ball and said, "Man, I ain't nobody else touching this. I got this." So
McGrady.
But now, granted, think about this: if McGrady would have did it,
but that's the thing. McGrady, you're talking about all these names, right? They're like they became, even if they weren't at one point, superstar household names. I think people respect Bam's game, but they'll never put him in that tier.
100%.
It also, if you look at his numbers too, it's kind of you see a guy that's numbers kind of are completely shifting because he didn't really used to shoot threes. He was hella efficient all by the rim. His shot percentage this year is down. So there's probably, people just hating for the sake of hating, but it's kind of crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a player shift from a guy that's like, a really good like focal point of a team that as far as helping them like in the trenches to becoming like this is a guy that just literally can shoot over anywhere, any part of the court.
Yeah, and again, bro, we got guys in this game, they are real shooters. They lethal shooters, and they haven't hit this 81, 83 mark. So it just feels weird, right? Like KD, this should have happened to him. Or one of these, if it was a respected shooter, we can say, you know what? It don't matter how they got it because they got it. But Bam just not being a respected shooter, people don't want to see it. That's all
right, for sure. I mean, I don't think anyone really, no matter what, is having a fun time watching a bunch of highlights of the free throws. So I think that's the other thing. People don't know. They just watch the highlights, and it's like, how many free throws are we going to watch here? And then they look at the stats.
Yeah, and Young Malty brought it up. David Robinson has 70, and nobody talks about it. Nobody cares about it. It was a boring 70.
I will be in the asterisk of people that do talk about it. This was one of the when I paid it. Now I'm out here doing dynasty content all the time. Football is like always. But David Robinson on a very short list of people to get to 70, like crazy short list. Now Bam's in that list.
And he wasn't shooting no 3-pointers either. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So
David Robinson, even if he had the ability, they weren't going. Coach Pop wasn't going to let him, man. No shot.
No, that's fact. He would have popped that fool right in the back of the head. But like I said, man, 83 points. There's been a lot of debate, a lot of hate, but we had to talk about it, man. I'm gonna be honest, ATM. I'm sure a lot of people, like most, don't care about the damn NBA at all. But I will say, man, I think looking back at this week, especially this situation, like I told you, I'm watching the game. Maxx Crosby news broke 2 days earlier, live on the show with me and Mike. I'm watching this game, and then Maxx Crosby trade gets rescinded. Then I wake up and Trey Hendrickson gets signed. I'm just like, bro, this is way too much drama in sports right now. Like all in like 24 hours of work. And I wanted to do this and then Kyler gets signed, right? So this whole week, man, there's been breaking news. That's why we here with 2 shows today, man. So I wanted to bring both of these conversations up, actually all 3 today, just because it was I would have been wild to just wait till Tuesday. Unfortunately, with my boy Rock, that had these discussions, man, it would have been over cold turkey by the time we got to that Tuesday show.
Yeah, I'm. So just so you know, I'm kind of like I'm trying to multitask. I'm hearing you everything you're saying, but I'm just trying to get like a little more of the sense of the overarching reasons why people are so upset. And it looks like, at least from the Hooper standpoint, as you would say, a lot of the people that play at the high end level and that are currently playing, there's a lot of backlash on basically him kind of going for it because the game was so out of hand. But I will say, at least on the defense there, it's almost impossible. You talked about this David Robinson game's insane, not really known by most, to get to 70. Bam had 70 with like 10 minutes left in the game. So almost, here's the other thing. Like, if you have someone that's had 70 points, like, tell me this. Are you pulling those great guys, right? Are you pulling KD? If he's got 70 with 10 minutes to go or 8 minutes to go, whatever it is, a ton of time left, like, there's no way you're saying, hey, come sit down. You're done. Like, you tell me he's not going to go for it? I think it's just rare also for a player to be in that scenario where you can go and chase that. So it's also one of those things where how can you knock it? Because most people aren't going to have 70 with that type of time left in the game.
But Adam, if you're a coach, right, you look at most of these players, especially older coaches, they like your sons, your kids.
What's happening, Bindles?
You're not going to make your son get out the game when he got 60 at halftime because you up. No, we're going to run this up. I don't care. Like, I'm going to get my man, my guy who's been riding with me in the trenches. Bam, been here a long time. Bam, what you need? We going for what we going for tonight? I got you. That's how I'm going. I don't care about no fans, no co-workers, nobody, man. This is my guy. He going to get what he need, man.
I mean, I can feel that too. I think I definitely think it's like one of those things. It's kind of like if he wasn't in this realm of scoring, it's kind of like an unwritten rule to say, all right, like, let's take our foot off the break, especially mid-season NBA. But the Wizards,
look, also shout out Bendels, but Merck just said a very great comment. He says crazy. He would have gotten more credit if he stopped at 70. He's 100% right.
But that's exactly right. That's a good way to look at it, and that's what I'm kind of basically saying is that if he had got pulled. Think about this. Had he got pulled with 10 minutes or 9 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever it is, at 70, and you can't tell me you're also not getting the same conversations of, man, he should have let him see. He might have been able to go get that thing.
And this is what I
people are so funny. People are so funny because they want to have it both ways, bro.
Exactly. They don't want him to get it, but they want to talk about it. Man.
They want to be like, oh, man, see, he could have had it maybe, Could have had it maybe, but
shoulda, woulda, coulda, world, man. That's how the world is.
That's fair. If he was in the 70 range and he had done it like in almost 3 quarters, like, yeah, that would have been. But there is. That's basically what I keep reading on the hate of it is unethical, all this type of stuff. I think sometimes people are looking to just jump on and pile on. But listen, here's what I'm saying. If I'm in his shoes and coach is letting me play, you'll be damned if that ball ain't going up, bro. One thing I will tell you when I did play, I was there wasn't a shot out there I didn't like. So you tell me in that scenario, they're all going up, brother. They all are going up.
Well, we ain't gonna worry about it, man. Bam got it. We glad he got it.
Well, Bam got it, and listen, Wilt still, invalid or not, asterisk or not, 100.
I was about to say we ain't even see that one. Look, we got to see the last 2. Come on.
But that's the thing about it too. Just real quickly to finish this up for me is like, all right, you can hate on it, you can say whatever you want, but somebody that isn't named Kobe in the aura of talking about 100. It's basically impossible to get to 100 in NBA regulation. So. Wild stuff. Let me ask you this: do you think there's anywhere in the near future we even get close to 80?
Oh, I think people now that they saw the formula, I think people are going to start doing that. If they got 55 at halftime,
yeah,
all right, let's go get it. I think it's a trend that's going to start because one thing I learned about
record chasing, stat padding. That's fair.
This is a thing that's going to happen. I truly believe in the next 5 years we might have. They might not break that record, but we're going to have an 80, 79, 1 or 2 guys coming up, bro, because you've seen Bam do it. Now people are going to say, because this is going to be the new thing. First, like you said, why y'all let him do it? If he had 70, y'all was up. Now the new thing going to be, well, he got 70, 10 minutes left. Don't take him out. Let him get it. Bam did it. That's going to be the new thing. So I think if somebody hits that 60 at halftime, 50 at halftime, we're going to see another guy chasing.
There you go. And the reason I'm going to still lean no is because the plans of man are many. But I'm telling you right now, the amount of people that are going to have 50 or 60 in the early part of the third quarter or half,
it's true.
It's still going to be rare. So I'm gonna say no, but I will say I think that you're not wrong that you'll see more stat padding and record chasing. But listen, people have been chasing records all these time. Wilts is in the untouchable range. So speaking of untouchable, listen, we got a little merch deal. I don't want to put the cart before the horse here, but it's basically untouchable. As far as everything's not just on a discount, it's at a loss, but it's doing it for everyone tapped in here, for all the people, man. We appreciate all the love and support and the community we built here, man. Having Fizz with the graphics, he cooked all this up himself. Doing this show, man, it's crazy. And I just, for me, a lot of it is just showing my love and support and appreciation for the people that, keep rocking with us and letting us have this crazy thing called South Harmon, man.
For sure, man. Look, I'm glad to be here, brother. Again, I see my regulars in here. My boy Gov, man, he said good on the graphics. I appreciate you, big dog. And I mean, I know this is an NBA conversation to end it, but I wanted to just change it up tonight, man. I think throughout the week we talk about most of the same stuff, mostly anyway. And it's the off season. Give me some time to just. It's been a crazy week in sports, so let's talk about it. So I'm glad we here, man. I'm glad that you joined me because I was going to do this by myself, but I'm glad you said, "Hey, man, look, I got you."
I didn't even know we were going to be talking hoops tonight either, man. But listen, I'm even NBA midseason, whatever it is, I no problem talking hoops. I love it. Let me ask you though, real quick, before we pivot into the merch and stuff. How and everyone here, if you're watching this and you're not subbed at this point, I mean, I don't know what you need to do other than just hit the button, man. Because Fizz has been grinding. How are you feeling right now? With this is the new Fizzle Friday look. How you feeling with your journey, in content and everything, man?
Well, man, I've been good, bro. Like I told everybody, the morning show was a regular routine. Like I know I missed a couple Fridays with Mike, and it was kind of work related. Maybe I needed a little fatigue during the week. But I will just say the morning show is when I know I don't, because that's my off day. So I don't miss no days on the morning. But when I took 2 weeks off, I literally told myself, I'm not taking 2 weeks off. I'm just taking 2 weeks off of doing what I usually do. So that 2 weeks, I learned how to and I still got some more to do, but editing my own videos, recording my solo content, putting out shorts. I just really put in more work than what I was doing before. And now, I mean, I think I needed that 2 weeks to learn and try different things, but it was almost like I took 2 weeks off to go to Cabo and practice for a little bit, man, till I came back ready for training camp. So I'm good to go now.
So now I like that. Now I see the transition here again, right? It's you got your Bam Adebayo going on yourself. The game of development is becoming a full array before our eyes. You're doing it all. I like to see it, man.
Yeah, man.
Having a good time getting to watch you, and it's pretty cool. So everybody in the chat, if you've been a part of, let me see if I can grab it here. Make sure you check out the Patreon, become a part of the community. Honestly, Fizz, I'll let you talk about that too, since you started. We all started this journey at some point as far as being a South Harmon shithead. Fizz, man, what are your thoughts on the community overall?
Yeah, man. One thing I'm learning is a lot of guys don't really watch the content. A lot of guys, they love the community in the Patreon, though. So it's almost like a zone community in itself. Mm-hmm. But I know right now it's like downtown. So that the community of watching content is really low on everywhere, all over the sources. But for the guys that just like being in the Patreon, it's like, it's almost like my brother, right? I see my brother is in here. But I might talk to my brother more on a chat than I will in this chat. And that's usually how our Patreons go. Like most of the Patreons, you can see them 24/7 in the Patreon. You might not see them in the chat on the show. So it's just this own community that's built itself. And different leagues, especially right now, man, off season. You got drafts coming up, mock drafts, film recessions, anything you really need is like its own little hub, man. So it ain't the Epstein files. It ain't Epstein Island, baby, but it's the South Harmon Island. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, it's a dope and crazy place, man. It's hard to quantify or describe, but if you know and you're here and you've made it here, you know how dope it is. So I just want to give love and shout out to you guys. So let me
Well, look, before you do that though, hit the volume on that one time. Sound.
Good catch. Listen, the wheel, the wheel is loud, so we don't want to hurt people's eardrums while we're shattering. Basically, the free agent frenzy, Fizz, was for me seeing a lot of different things. It's kind of crazy to me. Like Antoine Pierce, we joke about it, but Alec Pierce going from 2020, like basically 2 years ago, right? Is like, oh, they're basically trying to get a replacement for him in Adonai Mitchell where they drafted him, right? Now all of a sudden, 2 years later, he's a $100 million plus man. Michael Pittman got traded out of town, and the receiver market is wild, right? It's like the money in the, but then you look at on the flip side, the running back market is like, bro, what does a stud got to do to get some money when Alec Pierce is getting like 5x what some of these running backs are? So kind of, I guess, the best of both worlds for you. You get the top tier merch, right? Jumpman merch we've been putting out, but at a running back but crazier price. So the polos are $49.99 basically on these specials for drawing. So the winners of these will do on a wheel, spin the wheel. 3 of the people that signed up will get not just the polo at a crazy price, but then guaranteed winning on either a pair of Jordans, a pair of foams, or a jersey, all of which are like, damn near a couple $100 for $35 on a Pressure Luck. So Pressure Luck is only going to be as lucky as the Ravens were. You're going to get the guy you want or the idea of the guy you want, but you ain't got to pay nothing for it as far as draft picks. So I guess last thing before we hit that wheel, Fizz, is who do you think right now is going to end up taking the wheel winnings home? I'll pull up the screen so you can see who's on the damn
let me know
list.
who won that thing, brother.
I want to know what your vibe is as far as who you think's winning. What's up?
Laughing at these comments, man. These people's crazy, man.
What happened?
Nah, Young Molly tripping, man. Fool crazy.
What up, Young Molly? Oh shit, I see it.
He said, which one of us black and which one of us blue from I Got the Hookup movie. Master P.
So here, I'll show you. I should have probably showed it while they're bigger, but yeah, here's a version of the polo. Fizz ain't wearing it today, but he also has one.
I got it right here, big dog. I can pull it up.
Okay. By the way, here's the wheel. These are the people that signed up, and also if you do literally $1 a month, you can be a part of the merch tier. Got all kinds of crazy Jordan gear, South Harmon shithead merch, and dope stuff going on there. Did you want to? Oh, you showed the polo already?
Oh no, I can show it.
I mean, I got it too. But I thought
you was trying to call my bluff. You was calling my bluff or something.
People. I'm just. It's like Bam Adebayo. They want to see it, man. They just want people want to see it. You know? I'm not calling your bluff. What you think? I don't think you have one.
This is one of many, but I'm saying this is the black one.
What you think? What you think? I don't think you have one.
I know. I'm just saying. Maybe you thought I was lying, but it was right there on the floor. It's right here. I got everything in that duffel bag, brother.
From Audie Field in DC. Hello to you. What's up, Lisa? I know Miles. What's up?
Audie Field. Oh, Miles out to the soccer game.
Oh yeah. I was about to say I don't know what Audie Field is.
What's that? No, that's the soccer stadium. What's the DC team? The DC
I will be honest with you. My bag and team names are very good, except I can't go soccer.
I think it's DC United, if I ain't mistaken.
Okay. I'll be honest with you. I would have had a 0% chance to get it. Let's see. Yeah, DC United.
Yeah.
MLS.
It's a nice stadium. I ain't been inside yet, but that's what what's the XFL team, the DC Defenders. That's what they play.
I'm about to say, man, Fizz, you think I'm asking you a problem by here? Let me see your polo. I know you have it. Fizz is like, here, let me ask you the questions I know you don't know. XFL and MLS, I got almost no shot on these team names. That's hilarious.
Nah. I'm just trying to, I know a little bit about my city. That's it.
Hey, I respect that. So how this works, right, is you basically entered into a drawing for those polos. So we're going to spin the wheel 3 times, 3 winners. If you are not on this wheel and you would like to be, you'd like to see some of the other stuff, make sure you hit Patreon, go to the merch tier. So, all right, let's get this thing. Without further ado, Fizz, I want to hear your – don't try to keep, getting me off my game. I want to know who you think is going to win.
Oh, my bad, the winner.
Go. Yeah.
How many – damn, we got a lot of names.
So we got 8 total. 3 are going to walk home with a dub.
Okay. Is that Bendels in there?
That is Bendels in there.
Okay, all right. It looks like bundles, but it's Bendels. All right.
Yeah. It's upside down. As it spins, you might see it better.
All right. I hate to hate on anybody, man, but I'm gonna go Bendels Merc and Gimme, man. I'm gonna go Gimme, Merc and Bendels, man.
Bendels,
Sorry,
Merc, and
Rip.
Gimme. All right.
Sorry, Vigals, man. Vigals win all the merch, though, man. You can't win everything, big dog.
That's fair. I mean, if I will say this, Vigals is on a heater. He's like Bam Adebayo, green light all the time. Let's go ahead and spin this thing, though, man.
Who else we got up in there?
Man, I turned that down halfway and it's still out loud. That's why.
I was about to say that. It ain't as loud as it was.
Nah.
But it's oh, the doctor.
Listen, I should have.
I skip my brother?
I was about to say the one thing we should have all seen coming. Dr. B he can do no wrong. He won the damn helmet. Speaking of controversy, he won the helmet from the draft last year. So all right, shout out Dr. B.
Shout out to the doc, man.
And I know you're gonna press your luck because there's no losing on press your luck. So Dr. B, one of the three. All right, let's see if we can spin this one again. You know.
Let's see what we got, baby. See what we got, man.
Oh, I thought you got it again. I thought it was about to be Gimme Locks. I'm like, this dude is he cooking?
Gimme.
All right, Gimme Locks. He just gave me Tito. Shout out to Tito. Tito is man, that's a tough break right there. Couple spins.
Sheesh.
It's a game of inches, man. All right, so in one last spin.
Couple inches to the left, baby. You be at the heart. You ain't get it.
All right. One more. Let's see what we got. What we got cooking. All right, Bendels. All right, so Fizzle's right on the money with Bendels, man. So we got Bendels.
Damn, Merc. Sorry, big dog.
Tito and Dr. B locked in, loaded for these three. By the way, we'll be doing the same exact thing next week on AMA if you want to hop in too. So, all right, now how it works, press your luck. So for $35, you get to press your luck on a wheel. It's kind of crazy because at this point, Fizz, what the wheel I'm getting ready to show you, you can't lose. But I think people are starting to believe that's how it always is anyway, because my luck has been awful with these. I'm like, you know what, man? Let me just go ahead and not give myself a chance because my hopes only get shredded. So there's
sorry, big dog.
3 different options here. $35 for the pressure luck spin, but you can't lose. All right, Jersey. So
Jamar Chase. I saw Chase on there.
Dr. B, if you're here, let me know what size. I think you're a large, and I'll tell you what larges I have in jerseys, and you can have your pick of the litter. All right. If not, we'll hit you up in the Discord.
There we go.
All right. So now we got Tito. This is your spin. All right. Beagles is crying. We didn't feel his hope and dreams, man.
I feel
Although Beagles has all 3 color puffers, so I don't feel too bad for him. Oh. Ooh. All right, we got some Jordan retros. Hey, man, It's a good day to be Tito, boy. It's a good day to be Tito. What's up?
What you got now? I know you got them cherry 13s that just dropped, or what?
Well, they don't drop till tomorrow, so I don't have them in hand, but we'll see. But I will say this, Tito, let me know what size you are. I'll pull. I got a bunch of stuff here, buddy. We're collecting for the shitheads at this point. So recently I got Fizz there's been a bunch of stuff come out, but the Wolf Grays actually went crazy. So I only have the Wolf Grays in one size for people. But
I was about to say the line. Did you read about the line? People standing in line fighting, all type of stuff in the Wolf Grays.
I got lucky. Just hit the random the standard like sign up for the sneakers app. Speaking of which, that's kind of the idea for the drawing of this, right? Like I basically said, hey, if I get it, I'm willing to pay, and that's kind of the idea of the drawing. So I hit the Wolf Grays. The other stuff like infrareds, I've added some other things to the bag, but I got a handful of things. So I'll let you pick based on what size you are. I'll show you what we got, all right? All right, and last but not least, Bendels. Let's see what you got, my friend. What kind of luck you bringing? By the way, I put a fourth one in there, which is Your World, almost like in basketball. I knew we were doing this. Your World, you just give the guy the ball, go shoot it, pick whatever you want. Back-to-back Jordans.
No world, baby. We're talking Jordan.
All right. World. So, Bendels, let me know. You guys let me know what size you are. I'll pull my options for that. I think, if I remember right, Bendels, Tito, I think you're a 10, and Bendels, you're a 12, if I'm not mistaken. I got a bunch of stuff in 12, so I do have 10s, but some not as many as the 12s. Oh, by the way, Beagle's correcting me. He has 4 puffers.
I was about to say, Beagle's got everything, man.
Hey. I'll tell you this, boy. You know they say the rich get richer? Beagles is like, listen, man, I'm sad. This is the first time I missed,
Yeah. Yeah.
But shout out to you guys. That's dope. So Dr. B, I don't think he's in the chat right now, so I'll get with him on the Discord. Ask him what jersey he wants. You guys are 10 and 12. I'll pull what my Fizz. Why don't you ad lib for a second while I pull 10 and 12? I'm pretty sure is what the sizes are.
All right, yeah. What you got a message where you say that at? I ain't see it. All right, but I'm about to say, hopefully my man got on shorts, man. Adam, man, gotta watch him sometime, man. He be you know, when you working from home, yeah, brother. We need you to have on some clothes, all right, when you stand up out your chair, big dog. But yeah, man. Hopefully, you know, these guys get what they want. I ain't put in for this one. Next time, I'm gonna put in my name, see what I can get, man. But what y'all got going on for the night? We're gonna get up out of here soon. I appreciate y'all coming through. I know we talked about Kyler Murray earlier. For those that missed that stream, we came on at probably an hour before the stream. So go check out that Kyler Murray breakdown, Minnesota Vikings. Tonight, though, I just want to have a good sports conversation because it was breaking news, man. So shout out to everybody who was in the chat, man. Who we got up in? Soggy in here, Vigals, Mom's in the building, Gov, Young Marley, Merk up in here. Look at this dude here, man. He out here pulling shoes out there.
Woo! All right.
Bro, you ain't need to put them on the screen. You could have just kept them and waited.
Man. All right. So.
Man, Dollar's so trash.
So 12s, I got. What's wrong?
Nah, I'm looking at more NBA trash on my phone right now.
So for 10s and 12s, I have the Jordan 8 Bugs Bunnies. So that's an option for you. We got these are fairly newly released. The Jordan 9, these are called the Flint Gray, and this is the 9 is an OG silhouette, but this is one of the releases from the Wizards colorway. So this is the navy and the Flint Gray. Got those in, I think in 12s, not in 10s. Sorry. So Bindles, that's an option for you. These I also only have in 12s. These are one of my favorites, bro. The Fire Red 5s. This is like, I've seen all these before. I ain't even hearing you. Fire Red 5s.
I'm about to say, yeah, my bad, bro. You know, no, I don't need to look at no shoes, bro. I tell you,
this is like I don't even have eyes for them anymore.
Yeah, bro.
I got surprisingly, Fizz. This is my last pair. I got a 10, if that's what you're into. Tito, I got my last pair of the Shatters still left. All right. If you know, you know. Speaking of which, we're rocking the Fizz. We're rocking the Halloween gear.
Yeah.
So did you see the Jordan 5s are coming out with a Halloween specific colorway this year with glow in the dark? They just kind of leaked this out there.
If I did, then I probably didn't even like click on it.
So I'm curious what you think of them. Now it's a mock-up, so they might change from that. And then also in a 10, I've got Fizz. I'm gonna tell you this. I felt like people disrespected these. These are to me one of my favorite. Period. I feel like they got a little bit slept on recently. The taxis, bro.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
You don't really fuck with the taxis either.
I'm a playoff. I'm a playoff.
Playoff 12s are okay.
I'm a playoff guy though. I like. You know what's so crazy? This is the same shoe. This is reverse color. I just like the playoffs more.
I'm not telling you I don't like the playoffs, but I feel like the taxis to me are. It's crazy because
I just like the white on the bottom. I like white sole shoes. It's just they get dirty quick.
I was just about to say that's the craziest part about it to me. Now, if you have a lean that way, that's what you prefer, fine. But the craziest part about that is if this is white here, literally that whole thing on the playoffs. That was my biggest rub with it. Is you basically step out of the house once, even if you spray them, they're gonna get dirty. So the taxis are different.
Wear them, so I just buy them and look at them. But I like the playoffs though. Playoffs for me, baby.
So y'all go ahead then.
Claim your prize.
Let us know. I mean, if you don't do it in the chat, you do it in the Discord. Shout out to again the Patreon. So let me go ahead and get us back to Fizzles. Fizz. I didn't have enough time. I was gonna try to put the wheel and integrate it into the graphics, but one day at a time, man. This is the first day with the Fizzle graphics. I wanted to tell you and give you your flowers, man. Been coming a long way, and listen, the graphics look dope, man. You got a plan in place, and let us see it.
That's it, man. Well, I did this, like I said, today when I was talking to you. So when I really get in my time this week, I'm going to get in and cook up what I really want to be. So But yeah, man, short story, long story short.
Short story short. That's never a thing at South Harmon. Short story short, you know.
Yeah, but it was a good night, man. I'm glad for all the people that's here, people that were here. And hey, man, hopefully we got a little bit of replay value in case you ain't got nothing going on. Yeah, check it out. But hey, 2 shows one day. Sorry, my boy Mike. I'm sure he like, man, you wait till I ain't here to had 2. My bad, Mike. It wasn't supposed to be like this. It just happened, big dog. But
yeah, shout out Mike, man.
One. Yeah, for sure. This was a good one though. Tuesday morning I'll be back, baby. And hey, it is what it is, man.
All right. Well, hey, without further ado, good luck to everybody next week on the wheel. Otherwise, make sure you're subbed to the channel. Biz, can I get one of them things on the way out, man? Come on.
We
we out of this thing. Peace.
Yeah, next time.